Hello friends, this is I think third lecture of third unit, that is steam and gas power plants. Okay, up to this lecture we have seen or covered the topic of fuel handling, I think, and different system in this steam power plant. Okay, now let's see another thing, that is pulverized fuel handling system. We have seen the fuel handling, but in raw form. That means we were just handling, or we just have seen the handling of that coal, which is in the quite bigger or in the form of stones. Okay, so let's see what is this actually pulverization is. uh, Actually, pulverization means what? Breaking down that bigger coal into smaller size, like in the powder form. Okay, pulverization means what? Bringing the fuel into powder form. Okay, let's see. Two methods are in general used to feed the pulverized fuel to the combustion chamber of the power plant. First is unit system and another is central pin system. Okay, let's see from that first system, which is unit system. Unit system, every burner of the plant is fired by one or more unit pulverized connect to the burner, whereas in central or bin system the coal is pulverized in the plant, which is located at centrally, and then it is distributed to each furnace with the help of high pressurized air current. Every fuel handling system consists of crusher, magnetic separator, dryer, pulverizing mill, storage bins, and conveyor and feeders. Okay, so these are the things that are the component of this pulverizing system. The coal received by the plant from the mine varies in size and shape. Okay, this is, we know these things. Okay, hence it is thus need of plant combustion furnace to avail the coal in uniform size before passing the pulverizer for efficient grinding. The coal received from the mine is passed through the preliminary crusher to reduce its size to allowable limit, that is 30 mm. The crushed coal is further passed over magnetic separator, which remove pyrites and trapped iron. The other component is shown in figure. Here you have the figure shown. Okay, in the by the railway or by the dumpers, you bring that raw coal to the plant site, which is then fed to the primary crusher which crush the material up to 30 mm size. Then magnetic separator removes the iron impurity from that coal. Then coal dryer. Okay, as coal may contain some moisture, okay, to remove that moisture, coal dryer is used, and then it is fed to coal bunkers. Okay, then you can see from this coal bunker, you can see this that two system of handling this pulverized mill is shown. First one is what? Unit system, and another is central system. Okay, in coal unit system, for furnace there are three burner. For each burner the pulverizer and the coal scale is separate. Okay, for each burner you can see, for separate burner there are separate pulverizer and separate scale. Coal scale means what? It is measured, pulverized and fed to the burner. Okay, and here you can see in central bin type what happened. Central coal, first total coal is scaled. Central that means all the coal supplied to this central system is pulverized, then it is fed to central bin and then feeder, and then with high pressure air the pulverized coal is fed to the burners. Okay, basic difference, you can see this. Okay, here each burner is getting the coal from separate pulverizer, and here in this central burner system or central pulverizer system, you can see this, the burner, each burner is using or receiving the pulverized coal from the single pulverizer. Okay, from this. And here you can see the burners which are firing the pulverized coal for the burning. Okay, unit system. The systematic line diagram is shown in above. Let me show you diagram. Here this unit system is here. You can see this figure of unit system. Raw coal is there, feeder, preheated air is passed from flue gases to dry that coal, then which is fed to the, okay, from here preheated air comes which dry the coal, and then it is fed to the pulverizing mill. What is done in pulverizing mill? The coal is crushed to very fine size, and then through separator it is given to the induced draft fan which blow the pulverized coal to the furnace. Okay, here you can see in the furnace that burner is firing the pulverized coal. This is unit system. Okay, let's read something about it. The system line diagram is shown. The system consists of single burner or a group of burner and a pulverized unit. The crushed coal is supplied to the pulverizer through feeder at a variable rate according to the pulverizing equipment. Through feeder at a variable rate, controlled by a combustion requirement of furnace and steam generating rate required in the boiler. Preheated air or flue gases from or fire gases are passed through the feeder to dry the coal before feeding to the pulverizer. The pulverized coal is carried from the mill with the help of induced draft primary air fan. This further carries the coal through short delivery pipe to the burner. The second air is supplied to the burner before entering the fuel into the combustion chamber. Okay, so these in this way the unit system works. Let's see some advantages and disadvantages of unit system. The layout is simple for coal transportation and cheaper than central system. It permits the direct control of combustion from the pulverizer. The repair and maintenance cost is less due to separate spare component requirement less. The old conveyor system can be used during the replacement of stockers. It keeps better control of the fuel feed into the furnace. Coal which require drying for satisfactory function of the central system is generally supplied without drying in the unit system. Disadvantage of this system is what? The mill operate at variable load as per load on the power. The total capacity of mill must be higher than for the central system with the load factor common in practice. The degree of flexibility is less than that of central system. It in event of failure of the auxiliary of one of the burner has to put off as there is no reserve capacity. Then any fault in operation preparation unit may stop the working of the entire system. Generator, as the working of the plant directly depend on the pulverizing mill, compulsory maintenance is required. There is excessive wear and tear of the fan blades as it handles air and coal particle. Now these were some advantages, disadvantages of unit system of pulverizing fuel handling. Okay, let's see central or bin system. Let me show you the figure. You can see this figure. of central or bin system, in which raw coal is in bunker. Through gate it is supplied to the feeder, in which hot air enters, and then it is supplied to the mill, then which is fed to the cyclone separator. Then from the conveyor it is fed to the central pulverized fuel bunker. Okay, then pulverized fuel feeder is used, which is then supplying this fuel air mixture to the furnace. Okay, this is the central or bin system. Okay, see properly all this figure and its component. Now let's see how it works and how the arrangement is done. Schematic layout of central or bin system that we have just saw. The crushed coal is supplied to the dryer by gravity from the raw coal bunker. The drying of coal is done either by using hot gases, preheated air, or blade steam. The dried coal is fed to the pulverizer with the help of feeder. The pulverized coal is carried from the pulverizer mill with the help of air, and it is separated in the cyclone separator. The separated pulverized coal is transferred to the central bunker with the help of belt or chain conveyor. All the equipment used in the central bin system are of higher capacity storage. Storage bins are also used as an addition equipment which contain supply of pulverized coal for 12 to 24 hours. The energy consumption of this system is less. Between 15 to 25 kilowatt hour per ton of coal pulverized. Okay. Let's see some advantages and disadvantages of this central system. It is more flexible and quick adjusted according to the change in demand. The quantity of fuel and air more flexible as they are separately controlled. Power consumption per ton of coal crushed per hour is less, as pulverizer runs at its design load irrespective of the load on the plant. Operation of burner are independent of coal preparation. The labor cost is less as required less manpower. It offers good control over the furnace or fineness of coal. The fan handle only air, therefore there is no problem of excessive wear of fan blades. The pulverizer can be shut down when sufficient reserve capacity has been achieved. The same can be used during peak load periods. Disadvantage of system is large space is required for plant setup, so cost is high. High power consumption due to use of auxiliary, hence overall power consumption per ton of coal handle is higher than unit system. Due to pulverized coal stored, there is possibility of fire hazard. The coal transportation system becomes more complex and the requirement of dryer is essential. Okay, so these were some advantages and disadvantages of system. And another is the operation of maintenance cost are higher than the unit system of same capacity. The bin system is not favored in modern power station on account of dangerous from the explosion of coal air mixture and tendency of the stored pulverized fuel to take to kick. That means if the pulverized coal fuel is put for a long time, it will again form a stone, okay, because of pressure and different moisture content. In addition to this, maintenance cost losses through vents, capital cost and operating cost are all against system. Consequently, the unit system is adopted inversely for all high capacity installation. Pulverizing, okay, we have come across this pulverizing mill too many times while studying these boilers and this unit system and central system. Now let's study what these pulverizing mill are, like our flour mills. Okay, These pulverizing mill are there, but they have some different type. Let's see different type of this pulverizing mill. First one is ball mills. Okay, let me show you the diagram. Here the diagram of ball mill is shown. Hot air is drawn, exhaust fan to burner from here, and here is a drum which contains uh, small balls of harder material. Okay, and then classifiers are there which separate the coal depending on its size, and which is again fed to the drum for the pulverization. Okay, let's see what is ball mill. Okay, just saw the diagram of ball mill. It consists of slowly rotating drum which is partly filled with steel balls. Raw coal from feeder is supplied to the classifiers, from where it moves to the drum by means of screw conveyor. As the drum rotates, the coal gets pulverized due to combined impact between coal and steel ball. Hot air is introduced into the drum. The powder coal is picked up by the air, and the coal air mixture enters the classifier, where sharp changes in the direction of the mixture throw out the pulverized coal particle. The oversized particles are returned to the drum. The coal air mixture from the classifier moves to the exhaust fan, and then it is supplied to the burner. Okay, in this way this ball mill work. Now next one is ball and rest mill. You can see the figure also here. What does it contain? Bunker, automatic balance, feeder, ball mill. You can see the separator, then which is the air from this is go through the air heater, and then cyclone separator is there, and then which feed this pulverized coal to the boiler or furnace. In this mill, the coal passes between the rotating element again and again until it has been pulverized to desired degree of fineness. The coal is crushed between two moving surfaces, namely ball and race. The upper stationary race and lower stationary race, rotating race driven by worm and gear hold the balls between them. The raw coal supplied falls on the inner side of the race. The moving ball and the race catch coal between them to crush it to the powder. The necessary force needed for crushing is applied with the help of spring. The hot air supplied picks up the coal dust as it flows between the balls and race, and then enter the classifier. When oversized coal particles are returned for further grinding. In this way, this ball and race mills are used for pulverizing. Then electrostatic separator. Electrostatic separator is introduced by Dr. F.G. Cottle in 1906. It is a type of air filter that utilizes electric energy for removing the impurities, fly ash, dust particles from the flue gases in steam power plant. This is commonly used device for controlling air pollution. When this fuel burns, then the smoke will generate, which include the small soot particles that are balanced in the air. The carbon particles which are not burned can pull out from the smoke with the help of electric energy in the precipitator. This is essential for removing carbon particles from the burn because it can harm human health. Construction. The component of electrostatic separator include electrode, phase separate 3-phase supply, 50 Hz, 440 volt, control cabin, high voltage transformer, rectifier, hooper and insulator. This device include two set of electrodes, namely positive as well as negative. The shape of the two electrodes mainly depend on the type of precipitator employed, like bars, plates, metal wires, etc. The appearance of the positive electrode is like plates, whereas the negative electrodes are in the shape of wire, mesh or rod. These two electrodes are arranged vertically one after another in the precipitator. The connection of the two electrodes can be done by conducting the positive and negative electrode, connecting positive and negative electrode to the two terminals of DC source. The DC source positive terminal may be connected to GND for getting strong negative to the negative terminal. The decrease the distance between the two electrode and applied DC voltage are corrected. Working. The working principle of electric pressure is illustrated in figure. Here you can see the figure. Grounded outside dry air is entered, charged wire ground is given to the that plates, and clean air out. Dust collecting plates are there. Okay, let's see how it works. The working principle of electrostatic is illustrated in figure. The unclean fuel gas flowing through the tube is supplied by two electrodes. Is passed between a pair of oppositely charged conductors and it becomes ionized. The voltage applied between the conductor is sufficient. Air is passed through this ionized chamber. Both negative and positive ion are formed. The air carrying the ions and coming out of the ionizing chamber is further passed through the collecting unit. This unit consists of a set of vertical metal plates spaced 15 to 20 cm apart. The plates are positively and negatively charged. The voltage applied to the plates is approximately half the potential of the ionizing wire. Okay, this is the way of separating the impurities from this. Then the high intensity of electrostatic field exerts a force on charged particle. This negative ions move toward positive plate and positive ion move toward negative. The dust accumulated on plate are cleaned periodically by giving shaking motion to the plate with the help of cam driver by external source. The dust removed from the plate is collected in the hopper. Okay, the overall setup of this electrostatic precipitator you can see. Okay, what is the use of precipitator? It precipitate or accumulate all these harmful gases and harmful dust traps into this dust collector. Advantages are it requires small installation space. This is very effective for high dust loaded gas and small particle like smoke or mist and fly ash. It has low initial cost and low maintenance cost. It is easy to operate. Disadvantages are it forms small percentage of ozone when the air is passed through this. The formation of ozone is objectionable due to irritating effect to the nose and throat. A pre-filter is necessary before electrostatic filter to reduce the load on this filter. The efficiency of the filter decreases when quantity of air flow increases. Due to closeness of the charged plates and high potential use, it is necessary to protect the full apparatus by placing fire mesh in the air stream before the ionization chamber, because small downing of paper cause sparking when it is carried across adjacent plates. The direct current is not available with modern power plant, so electrical equipment is required to convert low AC voltage to DC voltage. Okay, now we will stop here. In next lecture we will see some control system of power plant.